This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Here comes a very unpopular opinion. I actually really like Hyperscape, the new Battle Royale game from Ubisoft. I seem to be pretty much the only person actively enjoying this right now. Whenever I talk about this game on social media, it's just met with this collective meh, like no one really cares. Certainly the Twitch viewership isn't thriving, their subreddit isn't like popping off. You're just not seeing a lot of hype for Hyperscape right now. And to be perfectly honest, I'm actually quite surprised about this because the more I play of the game, the more I enjoy it. There's a lot of issues with this game, like a lot in fact. There's almost no part of the game that doesn't need some serious improvement, but I think the core of it is so good because it's doing something that no other Battle Royale game is doing right now, and that's essentially creating an arena shooter Battle Royale experience. And yeah, I love that. Now, I am not a massive arena shooter fan from the past, but I certainly played my fair share of Unreal and like Quake 3 Arena, etc. I love those games back in the day, they were awesome. But the fact of the matter is, that genre is dead, like it is dead and buried. Some people are trying to bring it back at the moment, certainly Quake Live still exists, believe it or not. No one talks about that game at all, but it's out there and you can play it right now. I think it's free to play actually. And you know, the people that play it like it, it's just obviously a very niche thing right now. Enter Hyperscape, which is, yes, a Battle Royale game, but it's far more an arena shooter than it is a Battle Royale. But let's just start with the Battle Royale stuff. Yes, this is, 100 people dropped on a map. You can do solo, you can do squads of 3. You are dropped on the map and you run around, you collect weapons, you collect some abilities, which we'll come back to, and then, yeah, you kill each other and hopefully you're the last person standing. It's Battle Royale. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people collectively shrug at that and say, oh God, I can't believe they're doing another one, whatever. I've seen so much commentary that this game brings nothing new to the Battle Royale genre. It's just another phoned in effort. And I'm like, have you seen the gameplay? Like, it's not possible, I think, to come to the conclusion that this is just another one or it doesn't add anything new, because it's hugely different in terms of like the ideas that it's bringing to the table, as well as its core gameplay loop. Obviously, that differentiating factor is its focus on arena shooter style gameplay. You're seeing in the gameplay here, it is a very vertical experience. There's a double jump that get you pretty high. There are bouncing pads everywhere that'll get you on top of a building. There are abilities that will launch you straight up. There's this bouncing ball thing, which you can get a lot of hype with that as well. There are anti-grav events. There's all this sort of stuff that keeps you moving on every axis in every moment. And your feet are almost never on the ground with this, okay? So that's part one with regards to the whole like arena shooter thing. Secondly, you are talking about a lot of skill shot based weapons like plasma rifles and big rocket launcher style energy weapons that are very much about predicting where a target will land rather than, where they are right now. There are also some hit scan weapons as well, particularly the sniper rifle, where you can KO someone across the map if your aim is good enough. In addition to all of that, there's, things like mantling, and you can kind of actually, in a weird way, sort of climb on the sides of buildings if you know how to use the ledges properly. There's obviously slide as well. If you get enough momentum and you move, that'll speed you up. It definitely has Apex Legends components. It has Titanfall-esque stuff. It has, that classic arena shooter verticality all in one package. And if I'm being honest, that's the reason I love this game as much as I do. It is that freedom of movement that almost no other game is giving me right now, and just logging in to start playing Hyperscape and experiencing that freedom is just always really great. I just always enjoy that. This combination of Battle Royale and arena shooter style gameplay is really sort of testing your Twitch shooter skills in a way that no other Battle Royale game is doing, in a game that is, well, actually has a shot at being kind of like widely picked up and popular, because again, the arena shooter genre is just not thriving right now. Battle Royale is, and if I get to experience that kind of gameplay with a whole bunch of new players and populated servers and a game that's being updated live with new events and weapons and all this sort of stuff added to it, then I'm, that's what I'm keen on. So the verticality is great, but it also has some issues. We'll come back to some of those. There are a lot of issues in this game, okay? As I have sort of perused social media and spoken to people, there's a huge list of issues that piss people off. Some of them are matters of taste, and some of them are about the fact that this game definitely is just not finished in inverted commas from a design perspective. Let's talk about taste first. If you don't like Twitch shooters, if you don't like arena shooters, you're really not going to like this at all. It is very fast, it is very vertical. You know, if you're looking for a relaxing battle royale experience, I don't know what that is, but if you're looking for that, this is certainly not it. This is like balls to the wall, high intensity action the entire way through. So you've got to be signed up for that, okay? Outside of that, there are issues with this game and its design choices. First of all, let's talk about map. Map is, it looks really nice. It's this beautiful cityscape. It sort of reminds me a little bit of Valorant. It's got the whole futuristic thing going on. However, it's not really embracing that futuristic vibe as much as I'd hoped it would. If you sort of see the Hyperscape marketing, you get an impression of a like a VR world that's a lot more sort of interesting and vibrant and futuristic and kind of, you know, Far Cry Blood Dragon-esque than what we're seeing here. This is kind of a few landmarks that are pretty cool, and then a whole bunch of boring ass residential. There is a lot of copy and pasted space in this game. The landmarks, they are standout, they have their own unique presence and what have you. They do provide for distinctive moments that are really only possible in those spaces, but everything in between that is literally the same 3-story or 4-story townhouse building, just copy and paste it across the map. It's a big problem because as I go through my footage of this game, 80% of it is just me running up and down these staircases. It's impossible to tell it all apart, okay? So map definitely needs some work, no question about that. The other big issue is weapon design and weapon balance. Now, weapon design is pretty tame. Again, you're talking about a very futuristic, you know, sci-fi inspired shooter, and you're really just talking about like, hey, there's a shotgun, hey, there's an assault rifle, hey, there's a pistol that's like, you know, semi-auto, or it's like very basic stuff. You feel like they could have done a lot more. Some of the energy weapons they have are pretty cool, like the Skybreaker weapon, which kind of looks like this weird claw thing, and I don't know, I like that one. But yeah, most of the time they're pretty tame, and it feels like they could have reached for more with those. Weapon balancing is a very big issue, and this is where we get into that conversation about time to kill. Most of the people that dislike this game dislike it because the time to kill is so high. You will see that your opponents have a lot of health. You cannot bring them down with even 2 shotgun shots to the face. It's like 3 or 4 shotgun blasts to the face to bring people down. You've got a sort of Gatling gun cannon that it feels like you need to put 400 bullets into your target to bring them down. You can upgrade your weapons in this game, by the way, by picking up duplicates. It adds more ammo to the mag, it adds more rate of fire, it adds more damage, etc. Right? So the sniper rifle, for example, you can't one-shot, headshot people with it unless it's fully upgraded. That feels kind of dumb and very unsatisfying when you like land a rare headshot and you're not rewarded for it, etc. Every weapon in the game has some sort of balance issue right now, no question about that. And it all leads to a very high time to kill that people find frustrating, and they're like, it's just taken too long to kill people. The reason for this high time to kill is because the developers wanted to create a different style of play than your normal battle royale game where you make one mistake and boom, you hit the map, okay? They wanted people to take some damage, be able to respond to that, and then start running, you know, and they chased across the rooftops and whatever. From one perspective, I love that. My favorite moments with this game are when I am chasing someone across rooftops and we're all using our different abilities and leaping, and I'm trying to block them off with a wall, or just that kind of shit makes me feel like James Bond when I'm running on the rooftop like that. You know, that scene from, I don't know, one of the James Bond films. It feels like that, and I love that shit. It's very exciting, it's cool. The flip side to it though is that sometimes you just put so many bullets into a target and you're like, come on man, really? Are you really still alive? Really? The balancing is just not quite correct, especially in solo play. I play a lot of solo queue. In trios, it's a little bit better because typically your squad is going to be focusing down targets. In solo play, it can definitely become quite frustrating. I don't know what the solution to time to kill issues are, but they do need to do something about it because right now it's just not clicking. The other thing that adds to time to kill are the abilities. Now, I love a lot of these abilities. They are genuinely very interesting. There is a slam ability, which will just launch you up into the air and you'll do like a superhero impact landing when you hit the ground. There is a ball which surrounds you in armor and you can use to escape. There's the ability to go invisible. You can build a May wall anywhere you like and block off opponents, lock them in. You can protect yourself. There's the heal ability, there's armor. There's a lot of stuff that you can use in a variety of ways that creates legitimate play style differences. You can choose to play someone that goes toe-to-toe 1v1 with armor and with heals, or you can play someone that's just in the sky all the time, all the verticality, 24/7, and just playing that real arena shooter style of play. I love that shit. However, these abilities provide a lot of survivability and a lot of it can feel quite cheesy. For example, invisibility. Like if I'm losing a trade, I can just pop the invisibility button, boom, I'm gone. They can't see where I've gone unless they have a very specific ability called reveal and I just peace out of there. The slam ability provides you so much height. You can get away from pretty much anyone unless they're also carrying slam with them. The armor ability essentially just makes you invulnerable. So again, you can be trading 1v1, and if you're losing that trade, just pop armor and then run, and you can cycle these things. You can have invisibility for a while, and if they happen to spot you after you appear, you can then pop your armor. So not only were you invisible for 10 seconds, you're invulnerable for 10 seconds after that. It does often create situations where time to kill can feel really bullshit and really cheesy. However, having now put 25 to 30 hours into this game, I'm in a camp where I think the changes required to this are minor. They're not massive. I don't think you need a radically different time to kill. I like the game rhythm that they have here. I like the fact that we're chasing each other. And at the end of the day, everyone dies in the end. You know what I mean? Like, you can't camp in this game. One of the great things about this that I really appreciate is the whole camping style of play is just pointless. Like, it's first of all super boring. And secondly, you're just gonna die because someone's gonna burst through a window and KO you. If you're camping on a rooftop, someone will see you and snipe you. You have to keep moving in this game. And I love that focus on movement. I love the foot chases that are taking place. I love just the whole package when it comes to that. I don't want to see that change, but there definitely does need to be some kind of time to kill tweaking because at this point it's a bit nuts. I also really like the res mechanic that they've brought to the table here, which is when you're playing in a squad and you die, it's not like you're out of the match or you can be like brought back in. The way it works is that if someone else dies nearby, you can run over to their corpse and it becomes like a res spot. You're actually a ghost at this time. You can still walk around the map and you can still be on comms with your team, telling people, pinging targets, etc. for your squad mates. And then when it's time for a res, you can run over to one of these res points. You can sort of like plonk yourself in there, your buddy comes over and he's able to res you up and you keep going. You can be resed an infinite number of times in a match and it just keeps the game flowing really well. I like that a lot. There's you know, genuinely a lot of innovation in this package. That's why I really am surprised when I hear people say, oh, there's no new ideas or whatever. Point me to the game that is similar to Hyperscape right now. There's none. Yeah, it is a battle royale game, but I just think the argument that it's not adding enough new stuff or not trying, I really disagree with that. I just think that's not correct. Those of you that are into the whole like streaming thing might be interested to know that there's also a streamer mode for this where, you know, you can have an extension running while you're streaming. Your viewers can actually vote on events in games such as low gravity or supply drops or whatever else. They're kind of gimmicky. The low gravity one really sucks in particular because it completely fucks with the flow of the game and the verticality and the speed. They're fine. If you deleted these events, nothing of value would be lost, but they're there so that they can do the whole Twitch shout out thing, whatever, go for your life. I am so far impressed with monetization in this game. You know, we've heard of Valorant charging like $300 for its skins, which is obscene. This game right now is charging about $10 for, you know, skins or characters or whatever you want to call them in that ballpark. However, they're very simple at this point, very simple designs. I look at them and I don't really want to buy any of them. And that means that I expect that more interesting designs will come in future and they will be more expensive than what we've seen here. So I'm definitely watching this space. Ubisoft's track record with monetization is not great, that's for sure. We've seen that in the last few games they've released. So that's something I'm tracking. But right now, as it exists, I think this is a very fair monetization model for a free-to-play game. I don't mind slapping down $10 for a weapon skin. I think that's a fair price point for a, you know, totally free game. The thing is, These games live and die by how well they are supported, right? So if hacking takes over, it's disastrous for a game like this. If the game doesn't get enough updates, it just sort of dies on the vine, okay? Ubisoft are not good at maintaining things like zero bugs or regular updates. We've seen that in Rainbow Six. It took a long time for Rainbow Six to get to the point where it wasn't completely bug infested. And certainly The Division is still, to this day, just terminally wounded by its bugs. Even its most recent raid had some kind of exploit issue that was being, exploited for progress stuff. So Ubisoft have a challenge with this in general. And if they can't overcome it for a game like this, there's no way this game will survive. Fortnite and PUBG are so entrenched. Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Apex are just huge and just continue to gain momentum. If this game is to succeed, it can only succeed with a kind of update rhythm that makes people really respect this and trust it and want to stick with it in the long term. That's a tall order for Ubisoft, and we have to see how they track with that. Either way, in summary, I will tell you this. I really love this game. I really do. I'm just, as I said, I know it's a very unpopular opinion, but I actually have had an absolute blast playing this. I want to continue playing it in my spare time because I just have such a good time with it. It's the arena shooter experience that I haven't had in years. It takes me back to those Quake 3 Arena and Unreal Tournament days. It is a flow of gameplay that just feels so empowering and exhilarating. And I've missed it. I've really missed it. And it's ticking those boxes for me. There are a lot of issues with this, but I think they're all fixable. And I think if Ubisoft does the right stuff and spends the next 6 to 12 months to 2 years working their asses off on really tuning this thing, I think this could be a great product and I think it could have long legs. But we'll see, obviously. Anything could happen. Anyway, guys, that is the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Guys, before we go, I want to talk to you about Skillshare. Now, Skillshare is a website that you can go to learn how to do things that you're passionate about and potentially even just make a career out of it if that's what you want. So for example, let's say you want to be a YouTuber, but you don't know where to start. Skillshare would be the best place to begin. So I've already gone through Skillshare and I found some courses that I think would be really great to check out if you were looking to make a start on YouTube. So all I would need to do is go to My Classes and then My Lists. And now I've got my YouTube Starter Pack, which is a collection of courses that I think is perfect for, this crazy business. You might want to get started with Stand Out on YouTube, Build a Successful Channel with Jazza, which is a guy talking about how to build a presence on YouTube, understanding things like clickbait and how to find an audience and whatever else. Once you've covered that, you might want to think about how you want to write. And then there's this one, Going Viral, Write, Film, and Make Content People Share. So then check that out. You might learn how to write better and you might start scripting and think, cool, I'm ready to go. After that, it's time to start filming. At that point, you might want to check out Video on a Budget, Prepare for your shoot without breaking the bank, which is exactly what it says. All the information you'll need on how to do a basic video shoot without spending $1 million. Once you've recorded that content, you then need to edit it. And of course, there's something here on Skillshare to teach you how to do that. There's video editing with Adobe Premiere Pro for beginners. It's a 3-hour course that will get you started. You don't need advanced editing skills to be able to make a start on YouTube. You just need the basics. This is going to give you that and probably a little bit more. But what good is content without a clickbait thumbnail to go with it? And to do that, you need to use Photoshop. And again, there's a course here teaching you how to use Photoshop, and off you go. And then finally, if you feel like, all right, cool, I know I have these basic skills in place, but maybe you're lacking a little bit of motivation to keep on the grind, because believe me, YouTube is a very big grind. There's a course on productivity right here that's like, hey, be more productive. Productivity Masterclass, create custom system that works. So there you go. That's just like how to get started on YouTube, all facilitated through Skillshare. Those are just examples as well. There are dozens and dozens of courses for each of those topics I just talked about. The entire website is full of them, and I think it's a really great place to go if you are serious about, learning about something that you're really passionate about, and as I said, potentially even turning that into a career. Skillshare is running a deal right now where the first 1,000 people who click the link in the description below will get 2 months of premium for free. That's a great deal, and even beyond that, it's a steal to subscribe to Skillshare because it's only like $10 a month for an annual membership. That's a bargain at twice the price. As I said, this is a great time for us to use our time indoors to better ourselves and create opportunities for ourselves if we like. Skillshare is perfect for that. Check it out, guys. Click the link in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Skillshare, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down so I know to do better for next time. If you enjoyed yourself, consider subscribing, and if you really enjoyed yourself, maybe consider hitting that notification bell so you never miss a video. You can see my patrons here on the left. They're awesome. They're amazing. If you want to join them, check out my Patreon page. Thank you again. I'll see you next time.